Hello everyone and welcome to another Payday 3 video. I have a build video for you today. It's an early game build video, which means you don't need a ton of skill points in order to create this. I think I used 10 in total, but you can get away with just 8 skill points. So you can do it, you can create it rather very early in the game. And what I'm calling it is the never reload build. You never need to reload with this, which means you're never going to consume ammo, which means ammo is not a problem. It's very good for early game and the easier difficulty, so normal and hard I'd say. And I've really been enjoying it. So before we get into it, I want to show you how it works. We are taking advantage of one of the perks called Edge. I'll explain now how we do that. So I'm going to put my mask on. We're just going to get a kill off that guy there. Now we need to get Edge. Edge is very important. And if we just sprint for 3 seconds and then slide, it's going to give us some edge. Now, every time I sprint and slide, I'm going to refresh that edge, and edge is going to stay on the build at all times. And another way I can refresh it is with headshot kills as well. So as long as I get headshot kills, it'll keep on refreshing my edge. So the way to use this build now really is just to keep on getting headshot kills on your enemies. And what's going to happen with that is you're always going to have that edge perk. And you're always going to replenish the ammo. You're never going to use that bullet that you fire. It'll keep on going back to your magazine, which means you never need to reload. Obviously, there are some instances where enemies are tankier. They're going to take some more bullets than one bullet. But we've got some extra damage on the build as well to counter that. And hopefully, even with the bulldozers, you know, you're going to be able to get the helmet gone quite quickly before the mag is finished, so that you replenish your ammo and don't need to reload. For the easier enemies, you don't even need to get headshots. You can do body shots if you want. Obviously, watch your mag size. You'll be using more bullets. But you will still replenish your ammo. It's just not going to refresh the edge. So you will need to sprint and slide every now and then to do that. But I do highly advise aiming for the head at all times, because that is going to be the most efficient way of using this build. So here it is. You can see I've got 10 skill points in UC. I reckon about 8 minimum is needed. And you can get that very early in the game. I'm currently level 33 to have those 10 enabled. I think in the 20s you can have around 8 that you can equip. So very early game build. And the other thing you're going to want to do is just make sure you unlock all of your skill trees, because we are using skills quite far down as well. I do have a great video on how to unlock all your skills very, very quickly. It'll be linked down in the video description in my Payday 3 playlist. So go and check that out if you want to find out how to unlock them all. But this is how it looks. So Moa is what we're first speccing into here. With Moa equipped, every 35 bullets you shoot, you gain edge, which is what we're using. If you don't need to ace that out, so don't worry about that. But along this tree, right, we don't even use that perk. You just got to unlock that because we want to use these 2 skills here. We've got ammo funnel. So as long as you have edge, ammo you pick up is directly added to your equipped weapons magazine. And if your magazine is full, it's added to your reserves instead. So that's why you never need to reload, because with edge on, you're basically going to be picking up that ammo and constantly replenishing it. You've also got replenish here, where as long as you have edge, again, you automatically pick up ammo dropped by enemies you have killed, which is brilliant. So basically just kill your enemies and you're automatically going to be picking up that ammo all of the time. You don't even need to run over the bodies, which is brilliant. Scrolling down, we've got sharpshooter, and we do ace this as well. So for the basic, if you stand still for 1.5 seconds while aiming down your sight scopes, you gain edge. We don't use that on this build because of the run and slide, but the aced version, by performing a headshot while aiming down the sight, it's going to refresh your edge, which is very good. You need edge active as often as you can. So with a headshot kill or just performing a headshot while aiming down the sight, you're going to refresh that edge and keep it active. And also on the sharpshooter tree here, we're putting on cutting shot. As long as you have edge, your armor penetration is increased, which is good. It's extra damage, right? On the escapist track here, we do ace this out. The basic is whenever you sprint for at least 3 seconds, you gain rush. And in the aced version is if you have rush available and slide, it's consumed and you gain a refresh of edge. So that's what I just shown you in the clip there. We were sprinting for 3 seconds, and then when I was sliding, I was refreshing edge. That's great for when there's not many enemies to kill, or it's running out, you haven't killed in a little bit, and you just want to keep that edge going. You can just sprint and slide to get it. So it's 2 skill points are going into that one there. And as we scroll further down, we also go into these 2. And these 2 are probably what I'd leave off if you've only got the 8 skill points. But these are going to give you extra damage. The first one here for having the basic, you can mark an extra 1 additional target and they last for 20% longer. But this here, combat marking, as long as you have edge, which we're working around, you deal an extra 10% damage against any marked target. When you have edge as well, edge also gives you 10% extra damage, so you're going to have 20% extra damage here, providing an enemy is marked. This isn't so important to the build though, but if you do have more skill points to spend, this is where you want to spend them. And if you have more, again, well, spend them wherever you want. This is how I've built this to make this build work. Refresh your ammo all the time, meaning you never have to reload or even pick up ammo. Weapon choice is kind of important here, I guess. You'll see that I was using the one-shot marksman rifle. I was using the SAA-144 because it's very good, because one-shot kills basically to the head of most enemies. It does a lot of damage. This build probably won't work as good if you're using an SMG or an assault rifle or something like that. You'd have to let me know if that's what you want to do, but it works great with the marksman rifle. Secondary weapon, whatever you want. Deployable, I'd say you don't need an ammo bag with this, so go for med bag, armor bag, or whatever you want there. Throwable, whatever you want. Armor, whatever you want. Overkill weapon, whatever you want. When it comes to the tool that you take, just to take advantage of that last skill that we mentioned there with the marking, so the strategist, if you run the motion sensor, you unlock this. I'm not sure what level it is. It's a little bit later on though, probably towards the end of your 20s. But anyway, if you equip the motion sensor, you can throw this out and just mark up to 15 enemies within 3 meters. That's just going to give you extra damage against them, as already mentioned with the skill. I'd say this and the skill is going to be very ideal against like the bulldozer enemies, the ones that are very tanky. They're going to take a lot of bullets to the head to get their helmet gun. You could just make sure they're marked, or you place this down to mark them, just to give you that extra damage against them to get their helmet gun as quick as possible. I'd say it's only those enemies that are probably going to make you reload, if any. And obviously playing on the harder difficulties. This is an early game build. As I said at the start of the video, for normal to hard content, it's perfect. I'm not quite sure how it'd work on very hard or overkill yet though. You'd have to let me know if you try it out. Obviously, when you get to that level, you have loads more skill points to spend. You could probably buff this build out even more. But as I said, I just wanted to share that build with you today. It's a nice early game build that I've been using and having a lot of fun with. And I know ammo becomes an issue for a lot of people when they're doing these heists loud. It's definitely a loud build. It's for shooting. It's for those heists where they go wrong, where you're trying to stealth and you need to then shoot. It's really, really good. I'm going to have more builds posted on the channel as well, along with other Payday 3 content. So do check out that playlist link down in the video description now if you want to watch more of that. And if you have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like it. I'd appreciate it. Until next time, thank you for watching. Stay safe and peace out.